Hey everyone, my name is Rouge, and welcome to I Am Beauty and the Beast. I created this show because over the last 5 years, I have been undergoing the biggest metamorphosis, the biggest changes and growth of my life, and I'm 37 years old. I jumped into a marriage in my early 20s, got stuck in a toxic dynamic for about a decade, got out of it, divorced, became lost, alone, grieving, confused, but at the same time, confronting my inner self, growing my inner self through the years of trial and error, therapy, and powering through the good and bad days, or crying myself to sleep. I'm not a therapist or a doctor, but I'm someone who's been through the ringer. I've been chewed up and spit out, and yet I am now the happiest and most fulfilled I've ever been. I run a successful creative business. I have multiple hobbies that I love, friends that I cherish and who cherish me, family I can count on, and two amazing kids that challenge me to be, my best every day. I want to be a role model for them. I'm here sharing my journey and the lessons I've learned so that others may realize that they're not alone. There's hope for you. There's a beautiful life ahead of you, and it doesn't have to be some magical, distant fairy tale. It can be your real life. So here we go. Episode 1 is basically the title of my podcast, the name of my podcast, I Am Beauty and the Beast. It's about self-acceptance, embracing our good, our bad, and our ugly. So I'm sure you're familiar with the fairy tale of Beauty and the Beast, with Belle, the heroine, and Beast, right? He's the other main character. So Belle in the fairy tales is the self-sacrificing martyr type, and Beast is the angry monster type. But there is good and bad in both Belle and Beast. My goal is to help you see your inner beauty and your inner beast and find the better qualities of each within yourself. We all have both. We have both the beauty and the beast. Belle, let's focus on her real quick. I'm going to give you a quick overview. Belle is, kind, feminine, nurturing, intelligent, hardworking, patient. Those are all good qualities to have to be a well-rounded, positive member of society. But one can go too far, right? And on the other hand, you have Beast. Beast is protective, assertive, strong, wealthy, respected. Also qualities needed for to be like self-sufficient, and so you don't get steamrolled. But that can also go too far. And we have both of those qualities in us. So first, it's about self-acceptance, recognizing that we have both of those in it. Nobody is all good or all bad. And that's okay. We don't have to be perfect people all the time, okay? So we're going to recognize or identify beauty and the beast within ourselves, both in the good and toxic sense. Because remember, beauty has Belle, also known as Beauty Belle. She has great qualities. She also has some toxic qualities. And same with Beast. Beast has some good qualities and some toxic qualities. But first, let's start with identifying your inner beauty. I like to start with a positive. So what are things you do that you like about yourself or others like about you? Sometimes we can't see anything good about ourselves, right? Or we're like, oh no, I don't have any good qualities, but others may tell you. So what are those things? For example, I remember once someone told me I'm the nicest person they know. Or I've been told, you're so creative, or you're a great mom, you're a great photographer, or you're very personable, you're very friendly, you're thoughtful, or you're pretty, you're smart, or wow, you're so tough, I couldn't do what you've done. So you don't necessarily have to believe them yet. I just want you to identify those things that you see in yourself or others see in you. Those compliments that you receive, that's your beauty. And hopefully it's more than just, oh, you have very pretty eyes all the time, right? Hopefully you get compliments other than that. But if you don't, that's okay, because you can still find something about yourself that's good. Like you wake up at 8 o'clock every day and you get out of bed and you go to work. You're persistent. You don't give up. Okay? Find something about yourself that's that's good. And at the same time, Belle also has some toxic traits. She's a martyr. She gives up her happiness, her freedom, and well being for her father. She trades places with her father, right? Her father gets imprisoned by a beast. Okay, like maybe, that level of self sacrifice is admirable in some ways, but let's get real. Self sacrificing, you're not going to win any trophies. And even if you did, I wouldn't want that trophy. Self sacrificing to my own detriment is not admirable. It's draining and it's exhausting and it allows others to take advantage of you, even if they don't mean to. Then you feel sad. You feel disappointed. Why am I always giving? Why am I always the thoughtful one? When is someone going to do the same for me? The thing with being Miss Nice Girl or Mr. Nice Guy all the time is it begs a question. Is my life and my time worth less than someone else's? Are my feelings less real or worthy than someone else's? Okay, so being a martyr, that's a toxic trait. Are you the one that's constantly like, oh, fine, I'll do it, right? And you want others to be like, oh my gosh, thank you. But like inside, you're just like, I hope they appreciate this. Like, I hope they see how hard I'm working. Like, I hope they see how much I sacrifice. I gave up my lunch break so I could take care of this project. Oh, I work so hard. I hope they see this. That's kind of toxic. It's a toxic trait. I hate to say that, but it kind of is. Another one, and I don't really blame Belle. It's a sad, unfortunate thing. You may have heard of Stockholm Syndrome, but she falls in love with her captor in the fairy tale version. In real life, this means you stay connected, you hold on to the emotionally unavailable people around you, the mean-spirited, the angry ones, the controlling types. This could be a friend, it could be a love interest, a husband or wife, it could be a family member, like a cousin or a mother or father, it could be a coworker. Are you sacrificing your well-being to please people like this sometimes? Are you staying extra hours or like constantly giving rides to people? Like, oh, I'll drive you, no problem. What about your freaking gas money? It doesn't just fall out of the sky, right? But you try to be super, super nice, super, super helpful. And you're like, I'll do whatever. I don't care. I don't have any opinions or preferences. Oh, you're sick? I'll drive 45 minutes and bring you soup. And I'm going to clean your house for you too. And I'll take out the trash and I'll clean your cat's litter box. Like, I got you, babe. Look, again, that's admirable, but not when it interferes with your own rest, your own well-being. Over and over again, it's toxic to yourself. When you allow others to treat you in a way that hurts and pretend you're fine, when someone keeps calling the shots or working you extra hours or what have you, you're neglecting yourself and your needs. I'll talk in a future episode about boundaries to help you with all of this if you can relate to situations like this. But while Beauty has these amazing traits where she's so sweet, she's nurturing, she's caring, she's forgiving, she's empathetic, she's patient, she sees the good in the situations of her life that are handed to her or that she finds herself in. And those are all positive traits. And maybe you have those. Remember, that was the first step, was identifying those positive traits in you. The sweetness, the caring, the kindness, the thoughtfulness, the generosity. All of those are good things. I don't want you to get rid of those qualities. I'm not saying they're bad. We just have to balance it, right? We don't want to be a toxic level of good. Now, let's look at Beast, because we also have a little bit of Beast inside us. My chair is a little bit creaky. Beast, he's not all bad. He's not the villain of the fairy tale the way Gaston is. Remember Gaston? He's your textbook narcissist, right? I'm not going to get into that because I want to focus on the Beast. He is redeemable. Let's look at the good qualities of Beast, which you may actually find in yourself. Assertiveness. He doesn't take shit from anyone. He's commanding. He's physically strong. He's wealthy. He's respected. He's no nonsense. He's structured. He has routines. He's a doer. He's willing and he's open to changing. That's a big one. That's what differentiates him from Gaston, that he's willing to grow and evolve. Also, he's protective of the ones he loves. He fights Gaston to the death, protecting Belle and his castle and his subjects. What are some qualities that you have that make you strong, that make you assertive? Are you a deadline keeper? Like, you keep the deadlines, you keep the crew together, you're in charge, you lead, you command. Are you the manager? Are you the employee that gets stuff done when everyone else is slacking off? You're the doer, the getter. Do you have a financial plan that's, working for you? Or maybe you're debt free, or maybe you're working towards that. You're driven, you have goals. Maybe you have good taste in things like clothing or food or, wine. I don't drink alcohol, but I hear that's a big thing. So, or maybe you protect your friends or your family or the helpless, like you serve the community. You have the strength and the courage to serve others. Those are good, strong qualities that Beast has. On the other hand, Beast also has some toxic traits. This dude's got some anger problems. He lashes out, right? He lashes out all the time. He intimidates with his physical presence and his loud voice when he screams or yells or shouts. Basically, like, has a little temper tantrum, right? He acts impulsively. He's controlling, demanding, a little bit scary, definitely self-centered, shallow. He was so shallow, actually, if you know the fairy tale, he was so shallow that a witch cursed him to look like the Beast. His subjects are afraid of him, though they're also loyal, but they walk on eggshells around him because they don't know when he's going to be triggered and ready to attack. So people aren't relaxed around him. He also has this wall up and won't let people get close to him. He's distant and cold because he's afraid of rejection. He won't let others get close. He keeps them at a distance, and so he's emotionally unavailable. Do you get a little bit mopey when you don't get your way, like just withdraw, right? And just become really sad and weepy? I think Beast has his moments too where he withdraws. Does any of that sound like you? Do you, have little temper tantrums when you don't get your way? Do other people feel like they're walking on eggshells around you? Do you have this wall up around your heart like, well, everybody sucks, so I'm not even gonna try? Does that sound like you at all? So, and it's okay if you have those inside of you. You're not a bad guy or a bad girl. You're human. We all have great traits and toxic traits. We just have to work on ourselves to lessen the impact of some of the toxic habits we may have, the negative habits and mindset, and shift away from that towards the positive qualities of Beauty and the Beast. Okay? The goal isn't to kill one side of you completely or let the other overtake you completely either. The goal is to recognize that we're imperfect creatures. We all have the good and the bad within us. And then the bigger goal is to reconcile those qualities and become empowered because we take the good qualities of Beauty and we take the good qualities of Beast and we become the best versions of ourselves while working towards lessening those negative traits. And when you do this, when you find this balance, it'll lead you to a more fulfilling, rewarding life, inner peace, a devil may care, je ne sais quoi, air of confidence, and also humility, all in one. Beautiful, beastly, badass you. Thanks for joining me, and listen in on my next episode as I talk about having the courage to do hard things. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.